If somebody's water is poisoned, then we need to ship them to clean water. And in this case, it was the government's fault. Their inspectors tore open the mine, and all of the toxic water spilled into the river on the Navajo Nation. Senator McCain, President Obama, Congressman Kirkpatrick, I've mentioned Democrats and Republicans. Do justice by the Navajo Nation. Their water is poisoned. Their president just testified in Congress yesterday. Please restore our clean water. If we saw this happening in a foreign nation where a government poisoned one of its ethnic groups of people, where they had no clean water to drink from their river, we would be outraged. Yet it occurs in Arizona, and we act like it doesn't matter. It's not because we don't care, it's just we're so used to hearing about the plight of the Navajo Americans, Native Americans, the Navajo tribe, and the Apache tribe, and all of the beautiful Native American tribes. They're not asking for any freebies, they're just asking for the clean water they had before this gold mine spill. They're asking for their land to be cleaned up from the uranium tailings. Their children are being poisoned. They can't use their own land to grow their food now because the water is toxic. But the president will not declare a natural disaster area. That's all we're asking. President Obama, please declare that area of the Navajo Nation, as President Begay has said, declared as a disaster area, and immediately have freshwater shipments resumed back. We're also asking for the Republicans and Democrats in Congress to refund the EPA. They're cutting back funding. So if you could just let President Obama know, Senator John McCain, Congressman Kirkpatrick, to please resume freshwater shipments. We would greatly appreciate it. Build a pipeline of clean water from their river that has not been poisoned. That is what they need, because they can't survive as their crops are shriveling, their cattle are dying. It's not a Democratic or Republican problem, it's a government problem, because they did not come to the government and ask the government to poison their water. But their water's been poisoned by corporations and the federal government. They screwed up the mine, the gold mine tailings now have totally made the water toxic. They say it's clean, but every time the water is stirred up, the toxic residue goes into the water, so the farmers can't use that garbage to grow their food, and they can't drink the water. So we're just asking President Obama, Senator John McCain, Congressman Kirkpatrick, restore fresh, clean water to the Navajo Nation. If it were your family, your children, and they had no clean water to drink, you would be outraged. And they are. But Congress is not listening because they know nobody cares about the plight of the Native Americans. So we can do something about it. It doesn't matter if you're a Republican, a Democrat, a Libertarian. It was due to no fault of the Navajo Nation that their water was poisoned. We're just asking President Obama, Senator John McCain, Congressman Kirkpatrick, resume the fresh water, the clean water to the Navajo Nation. They don't have clean water coming from their river now. They cannot feed their cattle, water their cattle, and they were shipping water in because the government knew it was their fault. Their inspectors went in and messed up, and the gold mine spilled into the river. But now they're turning a cold ear. They will not listen and do and ask. They're asking the president to declare a federal disaster area and to resume shipments of fresh water. That's all they're asking. They're not asking for any handouts. They were here long before the government came, and now they're just asking justice be done. And this is an emergency situation. It's not like something in the long run. They're not using their water. If you're an organic farmer or farmer, you're not going to put that garbage on your crops. And that's what's going on. The government said, oh no, the water's safe. It's not safe. The EPA version of the Navajo Nation has said the cattle cannot drink the water. The organic farmers cannot grow their crops anymore. So please, Senator John McCain, Congressman Kirkpatrick, President Obama, it's not a Democratic or Republican thing or a Libertarian thing, it's a justice thing. If someone asked you to have your children drink toxic water, but they weren't drinking it, you know what your answer would be. So we're just asking the government, please do justice to the Navajo Nation. President Obama, Senators John McCain, Congressman Kirkpatrick, please do justice to the Native American Navajos. And also, Oak Flat Mine. Oak Flat Mine is another poisonous mine. The federal government has gone over their heads and brought in a foreign corporation violating our sovereignty, the sovereignty of the Apache Nation, and their sacred land at Oak Flats. They're going to bring in a mine to poison more land, more air, and more water. They think that we're in 1880s Arizona, where you can come into Arizona and leave huge toxic waste dumps and not care about all the people who have to drink poison water. So please, Mr. President, John McCain, it's not about Democrats or Republicans. The Navajo Nation leader is asking, please, restore fresh water. That's all we're asking for.